This is not just another year of dusty excavations and routine academic papers. This is 2025, and it will be remembered as the year history collapsed under its own weight. For centuries, we believed the past was mapped, explained, and filed away in museum drawers. But now, the Earth is giving up secrets it was never meant to share. Tombs that were never supposed to be opened are whispering impossible stories. Artifacts sealed for millennia are showing signs of knowledge that should not exist. This is not archaeology. This is revelation. We are not unearthing the past. We are unsealing a forbidden future buried in ancient stone. And these 7 tombs, they do not ask to be understood. They demand to be feared. In 1932, deep in the limestone cliffs of Nakhon Si Thammarat, southern Thailand, archaeologists stumbled upon a collapsed burial chamber buried beneath 12 meters of calcified sediment, dated confidently to 4,100 years ago using uranium-thorium tests. At first, the find seemed unremarkable. A skeletal figure, bent in fetal position, wrapped in rotted bark cloth. But nestled beneath the ribs was a small bronze disc, heavily oxidized and dismissed as a decorative amulet. That changed when the team at Chulalongkorn University performed a spectral scan and found not bronze, but a lattice of tungsten carbide threads arranged in a perfect microcoil. A 21st century RFID antenna embedded in a Bronze Age corpse. Skeptics screamed contamination until carbon scoring inside the artifact revealed exposure to volcanic ash, dated to 2000 BCE. The tomb was sealed by mineral layers without air gaps. No human had touched it since the early Bronze Age. If this is a primitive burial, then it contains the most precise telecommunications component created 4,000 years before its time. In 2007, a joint Polish-Egyptian team excavating a lesser-known necropolis near Abydos uncovered a subterranean chamber beneath tomb K21, untouched since the 6th dynasty. Inside, past crumbling walls etched with forgotten solar glyphs, lay a sealed basalt sarcophagus. Within it, the mummified remains of a priest astronomer, his arms crossed over a blackened object fused to his chest. Initially thought to be a ritual idol, the item was later identified through tomography as a lens. Concave, perfectly polished, made from a silica composite with refractive precision matching modern optical glass. Dated to 2340 BCE, the lens exhibited microabrasions consistent with astronomical use and was aligned to the star Sirius. Dismissed at first as an accidental shape, its curvature matches those used in 19th century telescopes. The chamber's seal was unbroken, the decay patterns untouched by intrusion. If this is a ceremonial token, it is the most scientifically engineered coincidence carved 3,000 years before optics were born. In 1971, Soviet geologists surveying the Ural Mountains near Mount Narodnaya drilled into a limestone bluff and uncovered a tomb, sealed beneath an ancient glacial deposit. Within, encased in a crystalline resin, lay the skeleton of an adolescent male from the Mesolithic era, dated to 9600 BCE. Clutched in his right hand was a thin metallic shard, presumed to be a primitive blade. But under electron microscopy, the object revealed a structure of alternating hafnium and carbon layers. A nanolaminate composite not reproducible even with modern manufacturing. Its molecular alignment mirrored radiation shielding panels used in deep space satellites. Analysts from the Kurchatov Institute confirmed the material was engineered. The site showed no evidence of disturbance, its glacial seal unbroken for over 11,000 years. There are no settlements from that era with metallurgy, no fires hot enough to smelt these elements. If this is a Mesolithic tool, it is the most complex spacecraft-grade alloy created before civilization began. In 2015, beneath the coral-crusted ruins of Nan Madol in Micronesia, Divers mapping collapsed passageways stumbled upon a submerged vault sealed with basalt slabs. Inside, preserved in anoxic silt, lay a stone sarcophagus marked with geometric spirals unknown to any Pacific culture. The burial dated to around 800 CE, but it was what lay across the chest of the interred that silenced the team. A copper ring, etched with microglyphs, surrounding a disk of polished obsidian, magnetized unnaturally. When scanned, it emitted a faint, irregular pulse in the 783 Hz range, the exact frequency of the Earth's Schumann resonance, discovered only in 1952. Engineers from Kyoto confirmed the artifact modulated that frequency. Claims of modern contamination collapsed under spectrography. The oxidation patterns matched copper aged 1,200 years in saline conditions. No wiring, no batteries, just frequency, stone, and silence. If this is tribal jewelry, it is the most precisely tuned geomagnetic device ever left beneath the sea. In 1998, during restoration work beneath the Tikal Temple 4 complex in Guatemala, a hidden shaft was discovered behind a false limestone wall. At its base, a tomb sealed with obsidian slabs, undisturbed since the late Classic period, around 760 CE. Inside, amid jade relics and bone flutes, lay a human figure draped in cinnabar and clutched against its chest. A cube of quartz, perfectly cut, its faces aligned to magnetic north within 0.03 degrees. Embedded in its core, visible only through polarized light, were microscopic gold filaments arranged in a tetrahedral lattice. Physicists from UNAM confirmed the structure mimicked a rudimentary quantum entanglement matrix, conceptually identical to 21st century quantum processors. Dismissed as a natural crystal, its geometry proved too perfect, too deliberate. The tomb was sealed with resin dated by AMS testing to over 1,200 years ago, untouched since. If this is funerary art, it is the most advanced quantum construct sculpted a millennium before computation was born. In 1984, beneath the permafrost of Yakutia, Russian archaeologists investigating a collapsed Bronze Age kurgan uncovered a frozen burial vault insulated by birch bark and mammoth hide. Inside lay a chieftain, his skull trepanned with surgical precision. And beside him a lead cylinder etched with angular runes no linguist could decipher. At first dismissed as a ceremonial relic, the object was opened under lab conditions and revealed a coiled strip of malachite-impregnated copper, suspended in resin. When exposed to a low-voltage current, it generated a weak but stable electromagnetic field. Experts from Novosibirsk Institute found its configuration mimicked a rudimentary capacitor, functionally identical to those patented in the 1890s. Thermoluminescence dating fixed the burial at 3400 BCE. There were no tools then capable of that casting precision, no signs of intrusion, no corrosion beyond expected rates. If this is a tribal relic, then it is the most accidental capacitor constructed 5,000 years before electricity had a name. In 2022, during a survey of collapsed catacombs beneath Rennes-le-Château in southern France, a concealed stone door was uncovered, sealed with lead and marked by a sigil resembling a Fibonacci spiral. Behind it, a crypt untouched since the Carolingian era, circa 810 CE. The tomb held a single coffin carved from a solid block of quartzite, containing a desiccated corpse wrapped in linen and a metallic tablet placed over the heart. What seemed to be decorative etching turned out, under ultraviolet light, to be a full DNA double helix, precisely mapped with base pairs marked in Latin letters. Biologists from the Pasteur Institute confirmed the sequence described a synthetic genome fragment identical to one engineered in 2019 to resist retroviral attack. The artifact bore patina consistent with 1,200 years of oxidation. No breaches, no forgeries, no post-sealing contamination. If this is medieval devotion, then it is the most accurate genomic inscription ever carved a millennium before CRISPR existed.